Ladies and gentlemen, today we'll be having a look at just how much your weapon stats are affected by your weapon condition in Red Dead Redemption 2. I've taken two gtamen revolvers fully upgraded and have one of them being a perfect condition version and the other one being an extremely poor condition version as well. Using the exact same weapon will just give a nice overview on just how much the effect actually is. And as a little bonus, I started off by checking just how much the weapon is affected by firing shots. And it seems that if you want to lose 1 bar of condition of your weapon, then you need to fire a total of 80 bullets. The way to decrease your weapon condition the quickest though seems to be by going into the water, as it was draining pretty quickly. And I was personally also using reinforced gear, which is the best gear you can get to protect your weapons from degrading over time. So whatever you do, try to avoid swimming in the water as much as you can, because this is the way your weapons will degrade the quickest. So let's start off by having a look at just how much a weapon is affected if you leave it in the poorest condition. As you can clearly see, according to the stats, there should be a noticeable difference between damage, fire rate, and reload as well. Now obviously what we want to do is we want to put this to the test. First of all, we're going to have a look at the reload time and just how long it takes to start reloading a weapon. Then it was time to have a look at the fire rate. Then I decided to test out if the hip firing would have the exact same result, if not worse, because by default, hip firing is always faster than aiming down the sight, but it's also less accurate. Now an interesting thing that I found as well, that even though the weapon doesn't really say it, it does seem that the accuracy of the weapon is affected as well, as you can see by the comparison screenshots that I've taken from both aiming down sight and firing from the hip. I've highlighted the bullet entry points with some Photoshop magic, so it's clear to see where exactly the bullets have hit. Now I know it's only a shot from 4 max, but it should give you a pretty good indication of how the accuracy is affected. Now to test the damage, what I did is I found myself a couple of Lemoyne raiders who were terrorizing the neighborhood anyway, and I lined them up to test how the damage is affected. For a poor condition revolver, what happens is you need to fire an extra bullet compared to a perfect condition revolver, so the damage is definitely affected. Now you might think like, oh, it's only 1 bullet, but you have to keep in mind that a gtamen, for example, only holds 6 bullets, so that means you will have to reload more often, which in turn is also slower than with a perfect condition, and also the fire rate is slower as well. So overall, you're going to be taking a much longer time than taking down an enemy. That is of course if you don't go for headshots. So the conclusion of this one, well, actually pretty simple. Keep your weapons clean. It is definitely very much worthwhile in keeping your weapon clean at all times to make sure that especially the fire rate and the damage is something that you don't really have to deal with. A faster fire rate on the gtamen is definitely going to make your life a whole lot easier, especially if you're in the middle of some heated situation. But with all that said and done, thank you also very much for watching. If you found this video useful, make sure to leave it a like and subscribe for much more Red Dead Redemption tests and guides coming to you very soon. And I'll see you all later.